Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's review, we're taking a look at the Street Fighter 03 Ryu from Storm Collectibles. This is the Storm Arena line. See a nice illustration of Ryu here. See Ryu inside the box and some of his accessories. On the side, more Ryu. On the back, a lot more Ryu, especially the poses he comes in. And then you can see another pose for him there. And as you can hear, something is in here rattling around. This is the Japan only version, which is why it says 03 on the box instead of Alpha 3, and then on the side another Ryu. So let's open this box up and take a closer look at him and see if he's just as good as Ken. One other cool thing to note is just like the Ken box, you do see his stage in the background, which is pretty neat. And here is Ryu out of the packaging, and I have to say this is probably my definitive Ryu on the shelf until they make like a Street Fighter 4 version in the Storm Arena line, but this is definitely the look I like for Ryu. Looks like him, love the Bengus style, love the Alpha style. It just looks good. I mean, look at the side profile, that looks great. He's nicely shaded. The gi is nicely tailored to his body. The belt is good. Looking at the legs, he's got, you know, the same kind of texture on his gi as Ken does. The feet are shaded. No paint on the toenails or anything like that, but that's fine. Bottom of the feet, nothing special. Mine does have like some black on there, or blue. I don't know what this is, but it's the bottom of the foot. I guess you wouldn't really see that unless he's kicking straight forward. Then again, on the musculature, got the nice shading there. The gloves are really nicely painted and sculpted. I don't know why this camera keeps going in and out of focus, but there we go. Very nicely painted and sculpted. Fists are nicely molded. Looks good. Then again, coming back to the face, you can see the brown in his eyes there with the black pupils. Eyebrows cleanly painted on top of the white. Sideburns cleanly painted. On the back, you've got the headband here. Everything's just so clean and nice. The brown is a really good color brown. Just looks really good. Now I know the articulation is the same as Ken, but I'll go over it again in case people missed that video. But do check out that video, by the way, if you're interested in Ken. But for looking up, I'm trying not to utilize his waist, but he can look up about that much. He can look down about that much. His neck does move, and my neck currently is like at a swivel, so make sure you line them up properly if you're just having him sit straight forward. But he can do head tilts, really do anything you want because it's on a double ball peg, so a lot of head and neck movement. The headband ribbons right here actually can come off because he comes with a different one, but you can kind of swivel these around. They just kind of peg in the back. For the arms, you get them to go straight T-pose, which is great. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have butterfly joints. You can get it to come around to do a Hadoken. So let's see how far we can get these to kind of touch. So pretty good. Definitely get him to do a Hadoken. Hands on there, no problem. Maybe like a little bit more range is needed, but I think that's really just because of the gi. The chest is soft and squishy, so probably if you took the gi off, you can get a little bit more range. But yeah, double jointed elbows. They look all right. I mean, there's always going to be like this weird spacing, but I mean, I think they look all right for what you're trying to accomplish. There's no kind of forearm swivel, but there's a bicep swivel, and then at the hand, his wrist pieces are separate, so you can actually take those off if you want to. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. Just be careful, because if you take those off, they will like fly away into the carpet. The hands are a soft rubber, and they just peg in on this little mushroom peg, so use friction. And then you can, you know, position them any way you want and rotate that joint so you can get other movement, horizontal and vertical. For his ab crunch, he goes back pretty far, so about that much. He will come forward about this much. And if you want to see him without the gi on, I did do that in the Ken review. He can take his gi off as well. You can remove this right here and then unwrap it and take it off if you want to. Just plug that back in there. For the legs, easy full splits. Looks good. He can kick up pretty high. The crotch piece is a semi-soft piece, so it does have some hard bits in it. You can do drop-down legs, so you can get the leg up a little bit higher, but not not a ton. It actually seems like it's still the same, but there is a drop down method in there. And then you do have a thigh swivel here, and then double jointed knees. And to me, this gi doesn't seem like it's completely white. It seems like it has like some greenish undertones to it. I don't know if that's even coming through on the camera, but like greenish bluish undertones to it, so it's not completely white, which is interesting. There is a small swivel right here before you get to the ankle and foot, and then for the foot, go about that much, come down about that much, and then you do have the ankle rocker like that, and then toe joints work pretty good. So yeah, posing wise, he's great. Articulation just as good as Ken, just as good as the Jada versions of Ryu, which I don't have because I did not like the face sculpt on those. But yeah, definitely if they decide to make that version of Ryu or the Street Fighter 4 version, I'd be into it. Definitely looks good. So let's get into the accessories he comes with. So first off are the things that are rattling around in the package freely. It's the stand that he comes with. So he has a stand here, 2 different parts to plug in to house one of his accessories, and then you can plug in the big tall stand that's adjustable to hold him, or you can use this like little V-clamp and slide it in here to hold him as well if you wanted this option, which is pretty cool. So yeah, he definitely comes with a stand, which is awesome. And then he does come with an effect part. So he comes with his Hadoken. This is a clear plastic piece, not soft, it's kind of hard actually, but it does kind of get milky towards the front, and then you see the more blue in the back, which is pretty good. And then it does have a port for you to plug it in. I think this stand is actually too low, so if you did want to plug it in, you could probably use, this is the stand from Jada. Well, actually you can't. The stand from Jada, the hole is way too big, so it won't fit in here. So you have to find another way to get this Hadoken up higher, but it's definitely too small, or the stand that they give you is too low for him to actually shoot it out properly. Then the only other pair of hands he comes with are Hadoken hands, or like palm strike hands, which I mean, I don't know what other hands I would give him. I guess karate chop hands. I would definitely give him karate chop hands because he does have, you know, he can do that. But yeah, unlike Ken, he doesn't come with another pair of hands. And then for the other head, he has the teeth gritted head, which I really like. Instead of giving him extra hands, if they weren't going to do that, they could have given him another head sculpt that's like yelling for the Hadoken, which would have been cool, or the Shoryuken would have been awesome. Mine does have a paint blemish there, but I did buy 2 of them, so the other one doesn't have that, which is great. But yeah, this is nicely sculpted and painted. And then for his final accessory, he does come with another headband, or the ties for the headband anyway. I want to say, oh, these are like a little bit shorter than the, well, let's just take it off. Let's see. Actually, they're not shorter. It's just an extra headband. I don't know why they give you 2, but I guess that's fine. Not going to complain. So yeah, those are all of his accessories that he comes with. Again, the only thing I think he should have came with was another head sculpt for yelling, and then maybe another set of hands, like a karate chop set of hands. And the stand is pretty disappointing because it's not going to bring the Hadoken up to his height. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Alright, so for our first size comparison, here he is next to the Skullomania from Storm Collectibles, and then the Storm Arena Ken. This Skullomania is a little bit shorter than normal Storm Arena or Storm Collectibles stuff, so you could actually blend him in with these guys, you know, with posing and stuff like that. But you can see Ken and Ryu are the same height for the Storm Arena line, and I think they do look really good standing next to each other. And then here he is standing next to the Jada Toys DJ and the Jada Toys M. Bison. I definitely think this M. Bison is way too small, which is why I brought the Storm Collectibles Street Fighter 2 M. Bison. I'm hoping that he's not like ginormous and maybe closer to like Skullomania's height at least, or like a little bit taller than him, so he can kind of tower over these guys. But yeah, the Jada Toys one I think is too short even for the Jada Toys line, but he is a good figure. But yeah, these are how these guys scale. And then just to quickly bring in some extra Jada Toys stuff, if you wanted to just use this Blanca, this is how they scale. And then if you wanted to use their Cammy, this is how that would scale as well. And I think the Blanca scales pretty nicely, and I think the Cami scales pretty nicely, but we'll have to see what Storm does, because I know that Blanca is in the Alpha series, so we'll see what they do in terms of that. But yeah, I think they all look good. And then here he is paired up with an SH Figuarts Full Power Super Saiyan Son Goku and an SH Figuarts Vegeta. Again, he's taller than these guys, but I still think you can get these to scale pretty well, depending on how you shoot the picture. And last but not least, if you want to get your Marvel vs. Capcom display going, here he is with the animated series Spider-Man and the Iron Man here from Marvel Legends. I think these scale really well. The bulk is kind of comparable as well for these guys, so I definitely think that'd be a pretty cool display to mix your Jada, Storm, and then, you know, your Marvel Legends line together to make a roster. So for final thoughts, I definitely recommend picking this guy up. If you want a good Ryu in your collection, and you don't have to buy another one, this guy is definitely the one to get. Especially if this is your favorite version of Ryu when he was younger. So yeah, definitely pick this up from Storm. Fingers crossed that they completely finish the Alpha series roster and not just jump around and then decide to quit that and jump to a new roster, and then we get like 15 Kens, 15 Akumas, 15 Ryus, 15 Chun-Lis, and, you know, 15 Zangiefs for some reason, and we don't really get any other character, which have a really bad reputation of doing that kind of stuff. So I really hope that they see this through, finish this entire line, and then move forward to another version of Street Fighter after that. But yeah, definitely recommend Ryu, and if you have Ryu, definitely pick up Ken, so you can have the two together on your shelf. But yeah, other than that, please, guys, let me know what you think about this figure, and if you're collecting the Storm Arena line, and what character you're most excited about. As always, thank you for watching, take care, and have a great rest of your day.